Live. Good. Yes, sir. All right. This is That's Debatable, and I'm your host, Jeremiah Bays, with my co-host.
I'm Will Ward. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir. And this is episode 1, man. Man, what's up, Will? I ain't seen you in a minute, bro. How you been?
Been living, been watching the finals, doing what we do, staying entertained by everything that's going on in the world right now.
Yeah, man. I did not see this finals coming, and it's getting real good. Who did you have?
Well, I had the Suns in 6, and of course, it can't go that way. But I think I'm gonna still stick with my guns and have a little bit of faith in CP3 and Book and the rest of the crew, and say right now Suns in 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stick to my pick too. I got what's called, pick integrity. So, of course, my original pick was the Nets. Unfortunately, them boys didn't get there. So I've been rolling with who my real MVP was, Chris Paul. This whole way I've been beating this Chris Paul drum. So I've been rooting for him. He ain't show up in a couple of games. He did his thing last night, but them boys still couldn't get the job done. Giannis and them showing out right now. I'm gonna probably still go with Suns in 7. They just gotta go into Milwaukee and get the job done, bro. Somebody else gotta step up.
How realistic do you really feel that somebody else can step up besides Booker, besides CP3? I mean, you got Miles Bridges. He had a good contribution, but if you look at the stats and go all the way down the list, they need a lot more than just, Paul and Booker. So when you look at this whole stat line and you look at the whole entire game as a whole, you had you had Milwaukee, who did just enough to get by, and to do it on the road was an even bigger feat. So
got lucky.
They had, I wouldn't call it luck. I mean, it was a good kind of battle back and forth because you never had one team that kind of totally took over until the very end. So to see what Milwaukee was able to do and to kind of see how Phoenix kind of fell to the wayside, I don't know what you think.
So they gonna need. Let me see. It's 3-2, and in the 2 wins, game 1, Ayton stepped up big, and of course Giannis was just coming off of that injury. He was still hurt, so Giannis wasn't completely 100% yet. We don't even know if he was 75%, 80%. So game 2, Mikal Bridges steps up, have his career high. I believe it was 27 points. He did his thing. You had Crowder chipping in, and of course Booker and Chris Paul. Booker and Chris Paul still did their thing, and that's how they went up 2-0. Everything changed game 3. Booker had a bad game. Chris Paul started to look old, and the role players fell back. Ayton got in foul trouble. Giannis had back-to-back 40-plus games. They was talking if he could get 4 in a row like Jordan. That's another topic. But they definitely gonna have to step up. We're gonna need Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, even Cam Johnson had a good game in game 2. He's ain't been the same. Campaign ain't been the same. Torrey Craig got injured, and of course they're down Sarge, which they need that extra body. Somebody gonna have to step up. Chris Paul and Booker dropped 40 back to back. He's been doing this. That's tough though. You see how it ended?
I saw how it ended, and
that's tough.
If you go back, game 4, he was in foul trouble. Crowder was in foul trouble, which made a huge difference about how the game finished. And in both of the games, it came down to one possession. You had the one in game 4
execution
where, like I said, Booker was in foul trouble. He came down. They fouled, I believe it was Holiday, if I'm not mistaken, and then it fell that way. And then this last game, Chris Paul turns it over, and they fell out that way. You had the block that was heard around the world, as they're calling it, with, the freak.
Comparing
and then,
it to, who.
Yeah, man, the greatest. That's a total different subject, as we always say. We're just going to leave that. It wasn't nowhere near on the dynamics, of what Bron did against Iggy. But, I mean, some people like to argue like yourself. I'm not going to say you was wrong, but definitely not saying you was right. And, but I think if Chris Paul and the rest of the team can, Chris can come out and lead the way that he was supposed to and the way that he can, it's definitely going to be a total, a feat that he's going to have to come about. And they're going to play a total team game with no mistakes, because obviously the turnovers have been a factor. The fouls have been a factor. And coming into pretty much a game 7,
bullied
in Milwaukee, you're going to have to come with your best A game and do the best that you can do. And it can happen, but it has to happen early, and they have to stay consistent, because that's where they started off hot, and then they let them come back. And then they fell off and had to fight back. But it's just about consistency in this game 6.
The unsung hero who started the series off slow and did his thing of late. He's had 2 crucial game-ending defensive plays right along with Giannis. And I'm talking Jrue Holiday. I think he had 27 last night, almost, 11 assists?
Yeah, Holiday, I mean, he had 27, 13 assists.
13?
13
wow.
assists. And you look at the stat line once again. And
unsung hero.
He has to be one of the, because of
the big
how
three,
the quote-unquote big 3. And obviously, Ayton has to step up for Phoenix if you're going to consider him a part of their big 3. Because right now,
he has to have the impact. His numbers was there, but his presence isn't felt on the court.
his presence isn't felt because of the presence that he has to take on, and his presence of having to stop Giannis is something like, trying to climb Mount Everest. And if he can somehow figure it out, Monty Williams can figure it out, because that's whose main job it is to figure out how to stop, Giannis. You can do that, you become more of a coach right now. It's unstoppable, man. I'm not going to say it can't be done, but you got to come with some kind of better game plan. And you've been doing it for 5 games, 6 games coming up. You have to come up with some better plan to do it.
It's the others. It's not even Giannis is Giannis. They gotta do what they did the first couple games, hold Middleton in check and hold Drew Holiday in check. And they got PJ Tucker, Brook Lopez, Pat Connaughton coming in. They're getting a lot of offensive rebounds. They're getting a lot of second chance points, and they're getting a lot of open threes. So, and they're knocking them down. So they're gonna have to figure it out. They're getting bullied on the inside, and they stretching the floor. So right now, Budenholzer got them boys balling, and they locked in. The Suns is gonna have to. The others are just gonna have to step up, and they gotta hold. And it's about to be the Fear the Deer Fest. They're going crazy on the outside. Antlers everywhere.
It's going crazy all around Milwaukee, and to be able to come into Milwaukee and do it is, like I said before, it's not going to be easy. It can be done, but it's going to take more than 20 and 10 from Aiden, and he played 44 minutes, which almost is the whole entire game, and you're getting 10 rebounds, total. This isn't even just the first half. It isn't the second quarter. This is the whole entire game. You get 10 rebounds. That can't happen if you're one of the main, big men in the game.
He their only big man on their team, for real.
Giannis had 9. And if you look at, Middleton had 7 rebounds. I think that's the biggest things. You want to look at points. You want to look at turnovers. If you can't get those rebounds, to get your chance, your second chance opportunity.
Had 7.
That's Middleton.
That's Middleton. The Pat Connaughton came in, was getting boards off the bench. It's just all about fight, and now it's just who got the most heart. It's all about who got the most heart. Don't go out there, don't roll over, fight to the last second, and maybe you could have Game 7 back in Phoenix for that chance to get get that Larry O.B.
This is the Game 7 if you're talking about Phoenix. You don't make it past Game 6, of course it's no Game 7. And like you said, Drew Holiday, he stepped up in a big way. He's an unsung hero for one reason, because, when you have a chance to do something that he's doing right now, and you've already went up against in the second round, you have to take on, a little bit of Kyrie, a little bit of James Harden, and then you go on to the next round, you have to take on Trae Young and do everything that he's done. So he's already been in a position to where he's have to take over and have to do what he's been doing. And, he's an all NBA defensive player for one reason, and you've got to witness it at the last, the biggest moment of the game when it counts the most. It's not easy just to go in, grab the ball, and then go back up and turn it into offense. Defense turn to offense, and they say defense wins championships. That's the thing that Phoenix is pretty much missing right now, and that's the one thing they got to get in check.
Yeah, because the Bucks star player plays like he's just a hustle player out there. He's scrappy. Like he's out there like he's just that's his job. But that's how he set the tone, and his team is following suit. Somebody going to have to be that tone setter on Phoenix. So, I guess if we was to pick today, Giannis is Finals MVP, averaging 32, a block a game, a steal a game. What he averaging? 13 boards, 6 assists. He's stuffing the stat sheet. He's showing up for his team, and he's right now Finals MVP favorite, and it's looking like he might be on his way to get his first ring.
That's if they get the win. That's if they continue to get the championship. And I cannot even really give it to Giannis on a whole entire, just a MVP type of level. Yeah, he's the easy favorite. But we have to go back to Drew Holiday and see how he changes the whole tide of the game. Because once Giannis comes out, they still need somebody to step up. But I want to stick to my guns, man. I'm not falling back from, the Sun, because I just got that inside heart. So I got to say, if the finals is over tomorrow, then of course you go with the unsung hero, Drew Holiday.
No.
I can't go with the freak, even though I'm pretty sure that's where everybody gonna go with. I'm
You
pretty
gotta
sure
go
that's who
with the
get
freak,
it. But
bro.
if that's a Cinderella story that we're gonna build up, I want to see Holiday get it just because it wasn't easy for him. It's easy to give it to Giannis. He probably earned it. I'm not saying that, but
That's like saying Kyrie should have got Finals MVP in the 2016 Finals.
I can debate that all day because he made the big shot that gave him to him. That gave him the win.
They'd rather talk about the block though.
They rather talk about the block, and that's why Giannis can't have that title of the block heard around the world. You understand what I'm saying? Touche. And checkmate after that, I believe.
Nah. All right, so what do you think about this? Everybody is saying whether if he gets crowned or not, but say, because this is all hypothetical, the Bucks win. We got some time to kill. Bucks win, and Giannis will be Finals MVP if the Bucks win.
I give you that.
Will Giannis be the best player in basketball?
He's one of the most unstoppable players just because of his size, his ability to move up and down the court, and the thing that one team cannot do is figure out how to stop him besides sending him to the free throw line. His free throws is his biggest thing right now. The countdown, when you're on the road, they in his head right now. So if he can somehow figure out how to get his free throw average to be, not Shaq-like, you got to love that, right? You got to love it. And it is obviously,
the roof.
If you look at how he works, the first free throw, 9 times out of 10, he's missing. That second free throw, he's probably at least, I would give him 85%.
Bang.
You know what I mean? So is he going to go down as one of the best? I don't know if that was your question. Is he
the best player in the game today if he wins the championship?
If he wins the championship, no. I can't give him the best in the game. He's one of the best. It's just other players that's,
as long as you don't,
I'm
about to say, as long as you don't say the best player is still, who, we cool.
Bron is definitely he's coming down
at 36 years old.
At 36, man,
he's not the best player in the game.
He's not the best player because you got guys that's coming up like Booker. I'm not gonna give it to your guy who you want to say KD.
Of course, that's the best player in the game,
I
bro.
know that's who you want to get a title to.
If Giannis could shoot, he'd be KD. Like it's that simple.
Shoot free throws or shoot overall?
Anything. Free throws, jump shots, hook shots, fadeaways, turnarounds. Layups.
if he gets a championship, that's the one thing that's going to change on his game. You got to assume that he has to come.
But if he gets it, you just salute that though.
He has to get something new in his
no
tool
asterisks.
Belt. It's no asterisk. It's no kind of like.
It's not a bubble championship. Nah. It's not fake. It ain't. It's not.
You go again with it.
It's real. He went through the trenches. Even though Kevin Durant's big toe was just this close, but hey, they didn't finish it in overtime. So the Bucks are here.
So it sounds like you giving Giannis the number one player in
the
NBA.
Heavens no, because I'm still saying it's Kevin Durant.
That's sad, man. That's
the number one player is leading us in the USA.
It's going to take us, exactly where I was going to go, it's going to take us into our next segment here in a little bit of can Kevin Durant lead USA? Can he lead as
got
being...
people talking about Slovenia on the internet and rooting for other teams. Like, bro, because Kevin Durant's leading Team USA. My fault to cut you off, Will. But these internet trolls I'm an internet troll. That's how I started this thing, for real. But these other trolls, they going against the nation just because Kevin Durant leading the nation. Kevin Durant and Dame Dollar. Shout out Dame Dollar, wherever he about to go. Hopefully it's not the Lakers. But we going to get right back to you right after this commercial break.
If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score On Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
Have you always dreamed about a career in sports broadcasting but aren't sure where to begin? Well, if so, then look no further than the Sports Emphasis program at the Ohio Media School. Whether in front of the camera, on the microphone, or behind the scenes, you'll learn from a pro to be a pro in the Sports Emphasis program at the Ohio Media School. You'll get hands-on training and live in-the-field experience at some of Ohio's biggest sporting events. You'll be the star of your very own webcast, and you'll get the opportunity to interview some of Ohio's biggest athletes. Call us today at 614-655-5250 or visit our website at beonair.com.
If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score On Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
Have you always dreamed about a career in sports broadcasting but aren't sure where to begin? Well, if so, then look no further than the Sports Emphasis program at the Ohio Media School. Whether in front of the camera, on the microphone, or behind the scenes, you'll learn from a pro to be a pro in the Sports Emphasis program at the Ohio Media School. You'll get hands-on training and live in-the-field experience at some of Ohio's biggest sporting events. You'll be the star of your very own webcast, and you'll get the opportunity to interview some of Ohio's biggest athletes. Call us today at 614-655-5250 or visit our website at beonair.
And we're back for the second segment of That's Debatable. I'm Will Ward with my man
Jeremiah Bays. Big Jared, what up? All right. So, how you feel about this Team USA, bro?
It's not the dream team for sure. It's not even a LeBron, Kobe team, KD team for sure. It's going to be one of those teams that's going to have to grind, fight, and scrap possibly. But can it get a gold? For sure. Am I putting all the money on them to win the gold?
I am.
You are. I'm not as of right now.
Give me
but
money on Kevin Durant.
hey, you have faith in KD. and a lot of people probably that's in Brooklyn, maybe Golden State, probably not OKC anymore, have faith in KD. I got some trust in Kevin, but to have faith to bring the gold, it's going to take a lot more than just Kevin.
Yeah, not just Kevin. They also got my dog, Zach LaVine. And with Bradley Beal going down, hopefully due to COVID protocol, he'll get better soon or whatnot. But because of that, Zach LaVine got to have his chance to start, and he got to show, and he really got to put on the show. And since then, he's been balling. They won every game he's started. So we'll see how that goes in the future. They got France on the 25th. They got France on the 25th of July, and then they got Iran on the 28th. That's what they open up with in the tournament, in the Olympics, I should say, not just the tournament. Losing to Nigeria. Was you one of the people trolling?
Nah, I can't troll USA, man. To see them, fall, I think it's a stumbling block, and a lot of those guys is just coming off of the NBA playoffs. Maybe a little bit earlier for Kevin and, Dame and people like that. But I'm not going to troll them. It's just a fill-out process. I guess as fans of the USA, we have a high expectation. And to see them fall, I just want to see if they can regain their composure and come back out stronger than what they went in. So, troll, nah, but the expectation has still went up for them, though.
Yeah, they was kind of small, but I do like the additions of Keldon Johnson and JaVale McGee. I felt like I was really looking for someone like Jared Allen, though. A younger version of JaVale. A better version of JaVale. I would have rather had that. But Keldon Johnson is a sleeper, and, of course, he's a Spur, so he had an inside plug. Why not?
You still got some of the best players in the NBA. You look at most of the players that's on this team, they all starters on some team except for Johnson, and even he gets some starting time and for the Spurs. So, you look down the roster, Kevin, starter, all-star, Jason Tatum, all-star. Don't look for anything from Draymond Green except for maybe some fouls, some hard ball,
run
rebounds.
The offense through him.
No, don't run anything offense.
He's a playmaker. He's a playmaker. He can run the offense.
I said Draymond, not Zach LaVine.
I know.
I don't know what you thinking right now, but we talking about Draymond Green,
what?
A playmaker.
That's what he do.
Playoffs.
He runs the offense of the Warriors. What are you talking about?
We're gonna have to go to a quick break, but we're gonna stay right here because I'm gonna have to carry this show on my own because I don't know what this guy is thinking right now. We got Dame Lillard on the team. That's a playmaker. That's a baller.
They need to use him like Steph.
I'm thinking you really being serious right now, man.
Of course. Why not? Why wouldn't I be?
Draymond Green.
As your run the offense, not like your primary scorer, bro, but as far as getting
look
everyone.
Look into the camera and say that and be for real.
I'm looking into the camera and saying that. Man, shout out Draymond, former DPOY.
This guy's talking about Draymond Green to play. You got Kevin Durant, Tatum. You got
scorers. Let them. What is their first go to?
I'm lost right now, man.
Bro, if they really run the offense,
this is one of those.
Do you want Draymond as a spot up shooter?
I don't want Draymond to be shooting the ball at all.
But he gotta have a ball in his head.
Check the last game, man. Draymond
you just went out there setting screens against boards.
Draymond had 6 points.
He didn't need it. I'm not talking about.
Yeah, 25
how
minutes.
Many assists he had? How many assists?
How many assists?
How many assists?
You're being serious right now. 3.
Oh my god.
Where are you getting offensive production from Draymond Green?
Man, listen. He runs the Warriors offense. I'm not crazy for saying
I'm about to walk off of this set right now, man.
He's the one that's getting. Who you think passing the ball to Steph?
Not Draymond.
Yes,
you talking about the inbounds pass. That's how you got to start off. That's like the center in football.
He brings the ball up the court. They run the offense through him and they try to get the ball to Steph. Man. He's the primary person to pass the ball to Steph.
Oh, man. Come on, Gil. Gil, come on, Gil.
I'm not being Skip. Skip would
come
beat
on,
the drum for Draymond. But anyway, Kevin Durant is going to lead him, bro. We straight.
Kevin Durant is going to lead him. Now we back on track, man, because you got totally derailed right there.
Nah, you took it as another thing, bro.
You said we're going to run the offense through Draymond. We got Bronze. We probably won't even come back. Don't even come back to USF. If you run an offense through Draymond, do not come back to the US, Kevin.
Offensive sets let KD and them maneuver in the motion. Like, bro, Pop got a real offensive
I think
system.
you're really
Like,
serious about running this
He
offense.
had people
through
like
Draymond,
Boris
man.
Diaw running his stuff. Like, what are you talking about?
You got Dame Dollar. You might as well say throw JaVale in there and run the offense through him, huh?
No, that's not his skill. He's not a passer. He's not a ball
I am
handler.
so lost right
He's
now,
not a
man.
ball handler.
But Draymond is.
Yes. When hasn't he been? So what do you think Draymond do out there?
Inbounds the ball. He gonna get you some rebounds, hopefully. I mean, he had 4 rebounds last game, which is, like I said, somewhere on this lineup, you got to get somebody besides Kevin and Dame and Tatum to step up and get you huge numbers.
No, we need Tatum to step up. It's been Zach. Tatum needs to step up. I don't know where Tatum been at.
I think they're just preserving themselves right now.
That ain't where we need to do. We need to step on their necks. Ain't that what the nation do? We step on necks. So we need to put their foot on their necks.
But if you look at the state of the nation right now, and you look at you got guys like Luka Doncic coming in and he's doing stuff. You got guys like his teammate Porzingis that comes every once in a while and shows up. This is not the old when you had Tony Kukoc and, the nation or the world has NBA players.
Up.
Yeah, exactly.
But the NBA players are still the best. The American players are still the best players in the world.
Indeed. I'm not denying that. But to say that we're going to just run and have a landslide, you putting all your chips into, Team USA.
USA.
To come back.
USA.
Yeah.
I told you.
It's all fun and games till you run up against France. And you have somebody.
France,
yeah.
Who's afraid of France?
Hey, man, I'm just saying, man, don't sleep on these teams. Because we already seen from what they did against,
Don't sleep on them. You're right about that. Yeah, you're right about that. Don't sleep on nobody.
It's not
Take
just
it
a given. It's not a walk in the park this time. We don't have a true center on this team. I mean, JaVale McGee, and I guess that you want. I mean, don't get me wrong. Bam Adebayo.
Bam Adebayo.
Yeah, but I mean, talking about like.
Remember, he had that finger block.
The ones that have to come and play, they have to show up. It's just not to me. It's not
Kevin
just that.
And Dame is the best 2 players on the team.
Indeed.
So they're gonna lead the way. Zach LaVine, Tatum, like they got the nice lineup. Bam, Draymond.
So that was 5 players before you name. I was sitting there waiting for you to say that name. I just wanted to make sure that you weren't about to put him in that top 10.
I threw him in there a little early before I just left him off before you said something. Because my dog Draymond Green is gonna do his thing out there.
It must be a Big Ten. You're not even Ohio State.
I'm not even at Ohio State. I mean,
So
I support the Buckeyes. And as far as basketball go, I'm a Tar Heel. I mean, we support the GOAT, Michael Jordan.
I'm just trying to figure out why you got so much love for this guy Draymond, who was like,
hate him for what?
I ain't say hate him, but you showing real strong love, man. I ain't saying you hit the MCM or nothing like that. But right now, you just kind of real strong on Draymond for no reason. And you saying he's supposed to lead this Team USA. That was your exact words,
man.
No,
it wasn't. I said run the offense through Draymond Green.
Or the cameras back.
It's on tape.
That's even worse. Run the offense through Draymond Green?
Man, listen, bro.
The Warriors don't even run the offense through Draymond
That's what I'm saying they do. What Warriors team have you
not.
been watching?
This year, that's what you want to say? This asterisk team, I mean, of, no Trey, or no Clay.
Draymond's
Steph's
always
hurt.
been a ball handler, so take pressure off Steph. Because it wasn't Clay, it wasn't KD's job, and it wasn't whoever was
Thinking this
filling in
guy's
that
really
center.
serious, man.
Like, where were you at watching?
I'm thinking you're really serious
It's
right
not.
now.
I'm not talking about scoring.
Are you talking about pick and rolls?
Running plays, offense.
Like pick and roll or something like that. Stockton to Malone type joint.
No,
You talking about legitimate offense.
they had a different type of offense. You're not about to put Draymond and Steph in a pick and roll with Draymond as the ball handler. No, I'm talking about they got that motion offense, that freelance stuff where everybody's setting screen. Steph runners off screens. Who you think pass him the ball when he come off that screen? Draymond Green. And it rhymed.
Oh, man. I would say it was Wiggins. I would say it might have been like somebody like
not Wiggy. He's about to be on the first thing smoking.
I'm not running no offense through Draymond unless it's a pick and roll. He's passing the ball inbounds. Defensive prowess, yes, Draymond. Somebody that's going to give me a couple of rebounds per game. I'm not looking for him to have no offensive production. That's high faith, and I give you, that's you get a good kudos for that, man. That takes a strong person to say, I'm going to run my offense through Draymond Green. It's probably you and Draymond's mom. The only people that think that Draymond needs the ball.
Oh my God.
There's nobody else. Kevin used to play with him. I'm pretty sure Kevin ain't saying give Draymond the ball.
Not to score. Give Draymond the ball so Draymond can get the ball to KD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Run the offense through
That's
Draymond.
not running the offense through
It
him.
is.
So in order for them to come back with the gold, you
What I'm
want
saying.
for Kevin to, who's going to lead this team as besides Draymond? I give you that
the
you
leader
want.
of the team is Kevin Durant. He's the best player on the team. Kevin and Dame. It's Kevin and Dame's team. Like de facto. Nobody else. Everybody else is new or ain't really been there yet.
So did
Or
that shake
they
you
was on
up?
that team from 2019 that didn't do so well.
Did the first 2 games when they came out, stumbling, bumbling, did that shake you up any?
No, it didn't. No. First game is the first game. The players never play with each other. That might take time. And then the second game, I was really execution. They should have finished stronger in that second half. And then they got it back right the third game, fourth game, and now they're on the Japan.
On to Tokyo.
And they're going for gold. And they're coming back with gold. And we're going to be the champions out of this COVID world. USA strong. Led by Kevin Wayne.
I give you that because you're the same person that said that he was going to come out of the East and be in the finals right now.
They
and
should
we
be.
see that Kevin's going to be on an early flight going to Tokyo instead of going to Phoenix.
Okay, he didn't get the hold the Larry O.B. fresh off an Achilles, but he's going to bring back home the gold.
That's the only goal that
Fighting
we
for
have.
our country that I only care for when it's basketball time. Straight up. But you want to get in. Like the Bucks barely escaped that net series, and it was just Kevin.
Hey, win is a win, man.
A win is a win. That's what I'm saying. You salute them and tip your hat to that. But it's not like it wasn't a dogfight with an unhealthy Nets team. So they better get it now, because the Nets is coming. But but James Harden is over there, and he's already over there overseas with little baby. Like, bro, as a Nets supporter,
James alone, man.
it's frustrating, bro.
Leave James alone, man. James living his life.
Man.
Kyrie living his life.
Kyrie's
They're
out the
not
way.
Focus on
Like,
basketball.
Kyrie, we're not going to hear from Kyrie no time soon. And when we do, they're going to make a big deal out of it. I guarantee it, because it's going to be something that people won't like, but it really won't be that big of a problem. They'd rather talk about Kyrie saying the earth was flat instead of Kyrie hitting a jump shot in Game 7. They'd rather talk about that. They'd rather talk about all the weird stuff that Kyrie does off the court. They'd rather talk about Kyrie and the Sage versus the shot, the impact, and the stuff he brings to the table.
So why you think players like Kyrie, I guess barring injuries, but you look at this list of players that we have, why don't you think the bigger names I guess injury is one of the biggest factors, but you don't have the Kawhis, you don't have Paul George, you don't have more of the marquee type names that's really leading the NBA, barring the finals players right now, because you're still going to have guys like Booker and Drew Holiday that's still going to join them.
And Middleton.
That's still going to join them. And it's going to make the Team USA a little bit stronger. But why don't you think that we having those higher tier, no LeBrons, no the guys that we used to seeing, no Stephs, guys like that? Why are they not in it with Team USA right now?
They're the vets, man. Well, Bron is done. Bron's been done. Like, Bron, we know he's on Space Jam time. So
Same man that said that Draymond is the person we run the offense, but LeBron's done. Continue.
as far as the Olympics go, what you talking about the Olympics? I ain't say he was. I think he's done competing in the Olympics. He got 2-3 golds already. 2,
Yeah.
no, because Melo got the most with 3, I think. So I think
No Melo. No Melo even. Like,
they're old. They're not about to go back out there. Kevin Durant is off. Like I said, the people who out there, KD, he was battling injuries throughout the season, but as far as the postseason go, he was perfectly fine. And he's fresh off he hasn't played basketball in over 2.5 years, so he's still trying to get that rec in, so he could come in even stronger for next year. So it's gonna be scary. And then people like Dame probably want to be around a different atmosphere, around some superstars. All these rumors going around with Dame. He wanted to get away from that, and what better distraction from that and focus on your game than the Olympics? So he's doing that, and then he could just don't answer questions while he out there like he hasn't been doing. Just keep saying the rumors are false. Just keep playing the good guy role because we all know the rumors is true. We just don't know where he want to go. But the other guys, like Paul George, just got out of a gruesome series. It's been a long season. Like you said, Kawhi is injured. Bron's and injured. AD was our American big. He's injured. He's getting healthy. Big Cat, it's been a tough year for him. Like rest in peace to his mom, lost to COVID. Like he's been battling injuries all year. Like so, him probably balling this offseason, he probably want to take his mind off some things. I don't know. I don't know why some of the younger people like Zion. I don't know why he's young. So like people like him he should have been out there.
I mean, you look at like you was just named Zion or Ja Morant or RJ.
Ja said bump them because they didn't call him first. So like that's out there on Twitter and stuff. So because Trae Young and Ja was trying to make their case for why they should not get that position or whatnot on social media.
I'm just thinking as us being, Team USA have the best players in the nation in the world. This isn't the strongest lineup of, high-tiered athletes. Not saying this isn't a good team.
I disagree with that. I 100% disagree with that.
You think this is the best of the best that we can get right now?
Is it the best of the best? Like you don't got Steph out there. Like the best of the best is really hurt for real. And the best of the best is out there. Kevin Durant.
The best of the rest.
the best of the best is out there. Kevin Durant leading the way. We already know that. And then all the other best of the best foreign players. Jokic, foreign. Embiid, foreign. Who else is foreign? Giannis. He's in the finals, but he's also foreign. Like, everybody's foreign or they're injured.
Back to my point
they're
before.
Injured or they're old. And so, like, it's a new wave. It's a new wave right now, led by who's right in the middle of his prime.
Draymond Green.
That's not what I said. I said run the offense through, not lead the way. That's two different things. Kevin Durant is leading. Kevin Durant and Dame Dollar is leading that team. I already said that. I'm on record saying that. I said run the offense through them because Draymond isn't a scorer. I mean, he can sure set screens, but one of his best skills is his passing and playmaking. If you did not know that, that's one of his best skills. That's why I say you should run the offense through him. To get all of those scores. Zach LaVine is a rising player, and he's trying to make a name for himself. And he's trying to show that he's more than a high flyer, that he could lead a team. And
when you say running through, can you say running around him? You know what I mean? When you saying running through, that means we got to go, every single ball movement has to go from Draymond, and that's how we branch out.
Every play not going to be like that, but I'm just saying he should run some sets. Like, let your actual score, what Dame is best at is scoring. He could play make too, but he could. And then what KD is best at is scoring. What everybody out there is really best at is scoring. I saw the Bam. He's just the athletic.
Except for Draymond.
And Bam. But they got to have roles.
Bam can score in the interior.
That's why he needs to throw that down there. And that's why I said run the ball through Draymond. So you got LaVine or Tatum, Kevin Durant, Dame, all on the wings. Draymond got the ball with all of these weapons.
Draymond's not getting the ball, man. Nah.
Just like it's the Warriors.
I don't want the ball in Draymond's hands.
Like, what is he going to – I mean, why not?
So you say he's going to be at the top of the key, calling, directing traffic for –
Have you not watched the Warriors game?
I'm at – yes or no?
8 years.
Yes or no? I see the ball in Steph's hands anytime. I'm not looking –
score. Draymond probably averaged more assists than Steph.
Man, stat man. I need the stat check. Here we go.
We need to figure that out.
Draymond has more assists than possibly, because if you got to have somebody to pass it to him,
Steph.
I can possibly get with that. But to have Draymond control the ball when you have LaVine, you got Lillard, it's just not, to me.
And they're best at scoring. They're more deadly just if they're really running the offense. If it's ISO ball, I'm not saying run ISO through Draymond. No. If they're really running some sets every now and again, run it through Draymond and let your weapons be weaponized. I don't even know if that makes sense.
Let your weapons get their best, chance to do what they're supposed to do. I understand what you're saying. It still ain't the best option for me. I want the ball in the hands of the man that you're saying is the best in the league.
When it's time
right
to
now.
get busy, yeah. I'm just talking about every now and again. We all know the ball gonna be in KD's hands, or we all know what time it is.
It's going to be
We
Dame
all know
time
what
more than
time
we
it
think.
is.
I don't even think Kevin is going to do more than – I think it's going to go – listen, I know you're going to disagree. It's going to go Dame, Tatum, KD. That's who's going to lead this team to a goal. If you
We're
wanna
still
see
waiting
goals.
for Tatum to step up.
It's going to happen, man. Be patient. This is the first time in a,
it's
international
not.
setting.
It's not. It's like his second. He was on that 2019.
Yeah, but he was still a little brother back then. Now
He's
he's
still
kind of
a
like
little brother.
He part of the main attraction. He part of the big three now.
They're not going at the big who.
The big three.
Oh,
You gotta
yeah.
have a big three. It's the new regime how we go on the NBA and the whole world circuit. So it's not gonna be as easy as what we just kind of like so much think that Team USA is a dominant, force to be reckoned with. Now it's it's an international game for real.
Let the games begin. It's July 25th, France. Here we will terrorize you.
It still go USA though. I just want to put that on the
No,
record.
bro.
I'm not knocking
USA.
that USA. I want to see him get the goal. We're gonna get the goal. It's just not gonna be
with
easy.
the money, man.
It's not gonna be easy as
Bet
everybody
on it.
thinks.
We could bet. What we got to figure out a way to. We got to push up bets on air. Got some. I don't know. We gonna figure something out.
We're gonna figure it out, man. Just give it time. Just don't get a ball to Draymond. But that's going to be the end of this segment right here. Gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back on That's Debatable.
Have you always dreamed about a career in sports broadcasting but aren't sure where to begin? Well, if so, then look no further than the Sports Emphasis program at the Ohio Media School. Whether in front of the camera, on the microphone, or behind the scenes, you'll learn from a pro to be a pro in the Sports Emphasis program at the Ohio Media School. You'll get hands-on training and live in-the-field experience at some of Ohio's biggest sporting events. You'll be the star of your very own webcast, and you'll get the opportunity to interview some of Ohio's biggest athletes. Call us today at 614-655-5250 or visit our website at beonair.com.
If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score On Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
Have you always dreamed about a career in sports broadcasting but aren't sure where to begin? Well, if so, then look no further than the Sports Emphasis program at the Ohio Media School. Whether in front of the camera, on the microphone, or behind the scenes, you'll learn from a pro to be a pro in the Sports Emphasis program at the Ohio Media School. You'll get hands-on training and live in-the-field experience at some of Ohio's biggest sporting events. You'll be the star of your very own webcast, and you'll get the opportunity to interview some of Ohio's biggest athletes. Call us today at 614-655-5250 or visit our website at beonair.com.
And we're back for the final segment of That's Debatable. Still with your man Will Ward, with my guy
Jeremiah Bass.
Going to check back in and do bold predictions for Game 6. We touched on it a little bit earlier, but Game 6 for the NBA Finals is going to be tomorrow night. Still Bucks versus the Phoenix Suns. Jeremiah, bold prediction. Who you rolling with?
I got the Suns in a close one. Booker goes for 40 again. Chris Paul has a double-double. And Crowder and Bridges outdo what Drew Holiday and or Chris Middleton bring to the table, because Giannis is going to be Giannis. And we're going to have a Suns Game 7, and we're going to be able to talk about it.
We have a Suns Game 7. Play hypothetical with me for a hot second. Can the Suns come back and seal the deal to get Chris Paul his first?
Yes.
Yes. Win tomorrow. You going out on a limb saying yes.
What you got, Ryan?
Got our voice of reasoning in the background. Ryan, what you think? Game 6, Suns, Bucks.
I think Milwaukee's going to seal the deal at home. I think you're going to I think you're going to see more Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday show. They've really stepped up as the supporting cast to Giannis. Even if Booker goes for 50, I don't think Phoenix will win. The pieces around him have not been showing up. But let's say Phoenix does win the next two and Phoenix wins in 7. Do you guys think Giannis is still MVP, or who does it go to on the Suns if they win? That's my only thing.
If it goes 7 and at that rate, it's going to go to Book.
Hands down going to Book.
It's going to Book. I had CP3 originally.
Where I was going to go with it. It has to be, if Booker has to drop 50, 60, he has to have one of those type of games. You have no choice.
Go for that much. These games have been close.
Yeah.
They got to execute just
They've been close.
Bit better.
They've been close because he's been the only person scoring one. And then you had Chris dropping about 20 points.
Chris had a good game last night.
Chris had a decent game. 21 points. Decent. But in order for them to stop the momentum, you've dropped 3 straight games to a team that's still trying to figure out their identities too.
That's not true. They know who they are.
The first 2 games in Phoenix, Holiday did not show up. And, you don't know what you're going to get out of Middleton. You don't know if he's going to be, the G League Chris Middleton, or you're going to get the person that's the second coming to Michael Jordan Middleton. Okay. You don't know.
That's too much.
I'm saying what the hype has been given.
That's too much of a stretch, bro. You stretching right there.
Dude, here's a good one I heard the other day. Some ESPN broadcaster said Milwaukee's like a box of chocolates and that you never know what you're going to get. Because those first 2 games are completely different than the last 3 games Milwaukee played. You know how a series goes. I mean, look what Phoenix has done. They win 2 handily. They look like they're going to run away with the ship, and they've lost 3 straight. They're on the brink of getting swept, as it were, losing 4 straight. So, And honestly, this could be a completely different conversation. Milwaukee basically tried to give that game away. They missed 5 of 6 free throws in the last 90 seconds. I mean, that cannot hold up. If they do that again tomorrow night, Phoenix is going to win the game. I mean, they were very fortunate to get away with a win on Game 5. It could have easily gone the other way.
I think the one thing that changed the narrative in this whole entire playoff series, the home team had been winning. You had 2 wins from Phoenix and Phoenix. You went back to Milwaukee and had 2 wins in Milwaukee. And then if Phoenix could have somehow handled business as they were supposed to, they had jumped off to an early lead in the first quarter. And then in the second quarter, you had to let them sneak back in. And then in the third quarter, it just was a rout of, Milwaukee doing whatever they wanted to do. In fourth quarter, they crept back in and made it a game again. So if you look at the home team, it's supposed to handle business. Technically, Milwaukee's supposed to skate in this one. But with the narrative change, we can have a potential of the home team win the first two, win, both games at home, and then flip-flop and lose at home. So I would love to see that narrative. If it's going to happen, like I said, Booker has to have one of those astronomical games where he just comes out and just is electrifying and hitting every single thing. The ball is just falling into the ocean of the net type shots. And, you're going to have somebody that's going to help him, besides, of course, the regular Chris Paul. I want to see more out of Crowder, man. Like, the same way you have all this faith in Draymond, I want to have that same kind of movement of the ball. And let's see what Crowder can do. He's a championship player, right?
He's the only one with finals experience.
Exactly.
Yes.
So let's see him. He had 10 points in the last game. Let's see him come out and have more points.
He doesn't have any experience winning.
True indeed.
He lost both of his finals.
But to have somebody else besides Booker and Chris Paul, those two are going to be the ones that they want to see with the ball in their hands.
Ayton needs to go for about 25, and he need another one of them 16 to 19 rebound games, 22 to 26 points. I do right. We need Bridges to get about just bring 18 to 22 points.
Yeah.
18 to 22 points to the table. Crowder chip in. It don't even matter what you bring. He's going to do his dirty work. So I know he's going to bring his heart. That's what matters most. But Crowder needs to hit them open looks because he gets a lot of them.
All right, I got to chime in here, guys, the voice of reason. I'm also a sports bettor. I love gambling. So I'm looking at some over-unders. We got a little sports betting in. Milwaukee's a 5-point favorite.
Ooh.
The over-under is 222. They're right around that. I think game 3 was 220. They hit the over-unders right on. But you're talking points. Let's see. Giannis, the point over-under is 33.5. Over-under.
Over.
And then the Devin Booker over-under points is 31.5.
Way over.
It's going to have to go way over if they got any shot at that. And the one, Jay, the last guy you were talking about, Bridges, you're thinking about 80 to 22 from him. Vegas has him at 11.5 over-under on the total points. So
It has to be over.
if they got any shot.
If I'm betting on it, I'm not giving anyone any advice. But what I know what needs to happen, it has to be over.
Yep.
He needs to bring like 18 to the table.
That's what I was looking
We
at.
need
Things to
18
win.
from
You looking for Giannis to be under.
We need you to
bro.
slow
That's
down
not
Mitty
possible.
Middleton. Mitty Middleton is what I call him. You got to slow him down.
Well, and is Milwaukee going to continue
Bully ball.
obviously that's their advantage is if they just hammer the
I mean, the
paint.
Suns going to win.
They're tough. But along with that bully ball, their strategy of pounding the paint is trying to get DeAndre Ayton in foul trouble.
Yeah. If he's in foul trouble, it's a wrap.
Yep. You think it's just game over if he's in any sort of They have got nobody that can replace him, right?
Frank Kaminsky.
Dude,
Negative.
Tank. You get a couple good
No.
minutes out of him.
Mm,
That's about it, though.
yeah, just to slap up Giannis a little bit, but nah.
And that's, I believe, is going to have to be one of the, I don't want to see a dirty game, but you're going to have to rough Giannis up. You're going to have to go ahead and just go at him, send somebody at
It's
his
not
neck.
Giannis, you gotta
if you
rough
want to, if you want to kill the snake, you already know you got to chop the head off, and you start at the top.
He's too mentally strong.
And I think that's that's going to be the thing. He's going to come out and he's going to have that
It's
killer
not-
instinct.
You gotta get Drew Holiday's too mentally strong. You gotta challenge Chris Middleton, because that is their go-to closer. No matter how you want to slice it, that's their go-to guy. Fourth quarter, third quarter, along with Giannis carrying throughout the way, bringing that energy. But their closer, bucket getter at the end of the game is Middleton. You don't want Middleton in that bag thinking he's Kevin Durant, not Michael Jordan. You don't want him thinking he's KD in that mid-range bag, and you can't stop him where every shot's going in. It ain't nothing pretty to his game, but the shot is lovely. When he feeling it, you don't want that. So that's who you got to rough up in the beginning. Giannis, they ain't got nobody to rough up Giannis. Ayton ain't even that type of a big that's going to rough him up. But
Right, true.
Ayton is just going to challenge him, which he's been doing, to what he can do. Because Giannis is he's one of the top players in the game. I say he's the best power forward. It's an argument. Well, him being the number one player in the game, that's debatable. Yeah, we should use that more.
I like that. Chris Middleton, he definitely doesn't show the toughness that Drew Holiday does. I don't know if anybody in the league does, though. Drew Holiday is an animal. And he definitely has caused some problems harassing Chris Paul in the front court. But I was thinking Pat Connaughton can kind of step up, too. If Middleton doesn't get going, the kid from Notre Dame, he's got a pretty good shot, and he's kind of scrappy.
Box him out. Oh, my God.
He does get a lot of long, loose rebounds.
Because he got bunnies. Like, they don't think, I don't know, what, white man can't jump? No, he got bunnies. And he'll punch on you, too. Man, they need to box him out. They got to box him out because he's getting a lot of loose balls. Pause.
I'm excited, though, for tomorrow's game. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's going to be a scrappy one. It's going to be one that both teams going to come out. It may be blood shed at some point tomorrow. And it's going to be one of those, whoever has that more of a killer instinct, if Milwaukee wants it more and Milwaukee wants to shut it down, it can happen. But I just know, led by the floor general and Chris Paul, they're not going to go easy into the night. You know what I mean? So expect Chris to have one of those epic games to where you have to take it back. And this is going to be his legacy that they're going to live on. You know, it's going to be people that are saying, you know, Chris can lead you to this place, but you can't get the dub.
I got a question off of that. Legacies. Okay, not a legacy can be created, and that's Booker's.
Indeed.
And tomorrow night, the game's tomorrow.
Yeah.
So forget Chris Paul's legacy, because win, lose, or draw, Chris Paul's stamp. Top 5, maybe, arguably. Right. So if Giannis wins, that changes a lot. If Giannis loses, he still got time. But right now,
same for Book.
I know, but this is what I'm saying. His leg, he doesn't have Giannis, he already got something built. Book really, but the 72-point game that they lost. But Book tomorrow can be known, and if they talking about he the new Kobe, if he really want to tap into that Kobe, tomorrow makes his legacy. And if he folds, what if he folds?
You gotta fold, and you gotta have one of those epic type of performances.
James Harden fell.
You know, if, like you said, the 72 points.
What if he disappears? Like that's
I don't think that's in
that's
his
what
nature.
I mean by his. We've seen it in game 3.
That was foul trouble, though.
What if he get foul trouble? Like, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think you have that same type of performance. I think you go into that. You know, Monty Williams isn't he's
I'm
kind of a
not wishing
motivational
for none of
speaker
this. I'm
right now.
Just hypothetically, like, what if
don't
Booker
think it
flames
happens.
out, and how does that?
I don't think it
start
happens.
For,
I don't think it can happen. I don't think he's that type of player, and he knows what's at stake right now to where he's going to fizzle out at the biggest stage of the game. So you get all the way here, and you've been the hot man every single step of the way. You're not going to fizzle out at the biggest stage of the game. Okay. You know what I mean? Now, hypothetically, if you want to take it there, if it happens, then for sure, then Milwaukee goes and walks away, and you know, you're having cheesesteaks and, you know, whatever type of cheese curds that Milwaukee brings all over the streets of Milwaukee. And you getting ready for, you know.
Philly. That's Philly.
You just got cheese in it, though, man.
Dude, but you got a point if Booker does collapse tomorrow night. I mean, the good thing, he's only 24, and having the expectations and the talent that he does, if he doesn't perform tomorrow night, they get hammered, Milwaukee wins. It's just I think it'll get marked down as one of the stepping stones. It'll be a learning experience. It'll be his gut check. It'll be him and Chris Paul and Ayton went to the finals as a youngster. You know, they always talk about it took Jordan 9 years to get his first championship. It took LeBron 9 years or something like that. This is Giannis' 8th season, I believe, so he's kind of in that same category. One thing I did see was if Giannis wins, if Milwaukee wins the NBA Finals, he'll have 2 MVPs, a Defensive Player of the Year, an NBA Finals MVP, and an NBA championship by the time he's 26. Yeah. That's filling it up quick, man. That's
That's 26. I just got my CDLs.
Dude, hey, that's nothing to sneeze at though either, man.
Hey, it
That's
ain't no MVP.
That's an accomplishment in itself. But
I think he's a fan favorite, and he's the face of the league at this point.
No, he's not. The face of the league is going to forever be Bron.
But Bron's on his way out.
Right. When Bron on his way out, it's going to be Bronny James.
Wow, that's big.
He's trying to set
It's
it up.
not
That's
that way.
debatable right there. I love Bronny and the whole James game, but I mean the face of the league, you got guys like Doncic and
That's
you
also
know, you got
Luka.
Trey and you got, you know, the
I think
whole
that LeBron's son.
you gotta come in and play before you say you the face of the league. I mean, you had guys like I said, Trey Young that came in and solidified himself as a potential new guy that's about to take over the whole league.
It'll be Steph Curry, I think, to tide those years over. But the powers that be will definitely try and put, the media. That's a media darling's dream to see Bronny come up
And
and
Bronny is going to be the one player from the one player's son that's going to actually be something.
I thought you was on the Ball bandwagon, saying Ball was gonna be the face of the league.
He's not. I don't think they're not going to allow him to be the face of the league.
yeah. There's one.
He's going to be he's such of a player though that he's going to be one of the marquee stars in the league. But I don't think they're going to ever allow LaMelo to be the face of the league.
Do you think he should be? Do you think LaMelo should be on Team USA?
I mean, as another playmaker, yeah, but I mean, he only a rookie, man. I mean, that's a lot of learning experience, but
I just caught a headline or so. They're talking.
Yeah, they
about
was talking
who
about
was
it.
left off, and I think there's way better candidates to be left off.
Like
but
Melo.
just as
I
he had a great season. I don't know.
That's
if
my,
that's worthy.
I don't
hashtag
think
tank for Melo. That was me all the
Yep.
way. I'm supporting Charlotte though, and Michael Jordan. The GOAT.
Hey man, you're Chicago guy, so I expect a lot of you. I expect nothing less out of you. And next time we come back on That's Debate, we're gonna have a little bit more football talk. We're gonna be able to determine what happened in the finals.
Some of these
If-
guests up in here.
If we had a comeback that was going to be of epic proportions, if it's going to be a lot of ifs, and you're going to be able to catch more of that on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z and things like that. So we're going to see what happens tomorrow night, though. So we all got our predictions. I think the voice of reasoning, you're going all the way with Milwaukee.
He's going to 7.
Yep. I'm going. Yeah, Milwaukee's going to wrap it up tomorrow night. Milwaukee wins. Again, Milwaukee 117, Phoenix 104.
117, 104.
I'm writing that down.
Me too. Go ahead, JB. What you got?
I got 110, 106 Phoenix.
That's pretty close, man. I'm going to go, a little bit more into my bag because I think Chris is going to show up and show out a little bit. I'm going to go even Steven 100. It ain't going to be a shootout because it's going to be a bloodbath almost. It's going to be 100. Mark me down for 95 with Giannis. They just can't get it done. It's going to be a little close, but I think they just going to, they're going to do enough to get by on the road. I think the crowd is going to get into it, and it's going to push them a little bit more, but I think it's going to be a little bit too much of Book, Chris Paul. Miles Bridges is going to show up. He's going to be the guy that, Michael? Yeah. Miles, same different guy.
They're related.
M. Bridges.
One of the Bridges.
You guys just want more basketball. Game 7. I mean, always, right? It's July.
It's the end of it, man.
This is the last hurrah, you know what I mean? And it's been
I'm ready to start.
It's been one of those
offseason.
playoffs where a lot of games have been going to 7, and I think this is going to be a whole other topic that we're going to get in on my end, but it's a little scripted, you know what I mean? I want to see if the NBA, PA can go off on top, and I want to say that's what they want to have happen. The ratings can go up for Game 7. Who knows?
Yep,
We shall see.
There's definitely something to that, I think. There's been a lot of Game 7s, like you said. More basketball, more ratings, more revenue, more ticket sales. All of that goes hand in hand.
Well, time out. That's true. But these Game 7s, what are you referring to? That wasn't a series that was actually 7 games. Like, that was 7-game worthy, not like he just got dragged out.
7 games. You went with Milwaukee and Brooklyn went 7.
Those were 2 heavy hitters fighting for it.
We're in the same situation.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that's what he's saying is that there's the
He
point
said
is that
scripted, like it was meant to go 7 for.
Yeah, they want these things to go 7. The heavy hitters, you're going pound for pound. You want to see bloodbath. You want to see these games go prolonged. You don't have Giannis and that new count, at the free throw line for no reason. You know, that's
There's fans there. What you forgot about the fans?
exactly. The fans are what
That's
they
why
want.
it's the real playoffs. You know, no
The
asterisks.
asterisks. I knew it. I knew you.
Hey, always, man. You always.
You know, they really get to travel to Milwaukee. Then they really got to go back across the country to Phoenix. They're not all just posted up in the same hotel, posting on Snapchat.
And Milwaukee has some of those fans, like you were saying. You got antlers in the stands, and that's what's going to make it hard
fear the
right
deer.
now, man. It's going to be really hard, but I just think, you know, you said 117, 104, 110, 106, and I'm going to even Steven 100.
Yeah.
We're going to see what happens, though.
All right. This.
One thing I will add, next Monday on the show, we'll have some NHL draft recap. I know that doesn't tickle your guys' feathers quite as much.
Hey,
but
no,
I'll
get me updated, man.
I'll get a little bit of rundown of that. The cool thing is the NHL is expanding this season, so we've got the expansion draft on Wednesday. The Seattle Kraken is going to be the new NHL team. That'll bring the league up to 32 teams. I think that's a great spot for an NHL team to set up. Seattle, to have a big fan base up there, being next to Canada.
Back up that way.
The Seattle Kraken, so that's exciting. Seeing the leagues expand, always a cool thing. So that draft's coming up. We can recap a little bit of the British Open Golf Championship over the weekend. It was pretty exciting if you're a golf fan. And the one thing I want to touch on is some of the NFL training camps, mini camps, all of that excitement. No Rodgers showing up, Melvin Gordon not showing up, Allen Robinson not showing up.
The league MVP, Joe Burrow, was back, getting ready for my man to get there. Don't look so surprised. We're going to see the first
We
game
got
with
you
those
week
Minnesota
one.
Vikings.
Yeah.
Those Minnesota Vikings are going to come into the jungle, and we're going to show them why we're coming.
I'm trying to go to that game, so we going.
Burrow won't be
I
ready
might
for
not.
week
I might
one,
have
will
to.
he?
I might have to do that show remote on Monday because
Dang.
I plan on going to that game. Yeah, that's week one.
Week
That's
one.
very surprising, right?
He'll be
For
back.
blowing out his knee in the middle of the year.
He's been training already. He's already like number one on the depth chart as far as working with the first team, I should say.
Does that concern you?
Nah.
He's young.
You don't think that's too early?
No. He's a beast.
The franchise,
Because it happened in the middle of the season just a little bit. It wasn't at the end of the season to where, you know.
He's a beast.
It
he
was.
is a beast.
But if I was them, I'd wait till week 2.
That's what coming from the Vikings.
Hey, it's nobody
fan.
coming on that defensive line that's
Oh,
going to
stop it! Daniil Hunter's
pressure on
back. Oh no! Our defensive line is back, and our
It's going
defense.
to be none of that.
Our defense is back to where it needs to be, and hopefully they put it together and Mike Zimmer get that defense back to where it needs to be, to a top 5 defense like it was in 2017. Last year we had a top 5 offense. I believe as long as our key cog, Dalvin Cook, stay healthy, we will have another top 5 offense. Justin Jefferson in the second year. You can't double him still because Adam Thielen is still a problem. I'm expecting Irv Smith Jr. to step up. He's from Alabama, I want to say. But
He offensive or defensive? Who's Irv
he's
Smith?
a tight end. He's a tight end. So I'm just saying another weapon that we got. We got some weapons. We got a revamped offensive line. Our first two picks was the O-line.
Now you just got to find a quarterback.
That's what I was just gonna say.
No, well, I mean, man, we got a quarterback. It's just, man, this thing about Kirk Cousins' narrative frustrates me. We ain't got that much time left, but it's the narrative.
Save all of that.
Leave
for
all of that Redskin crap with the Redskins.
Oh,
He never played
America's
for the football team.
America's football team. Right?
He didn't play for the
Washington
football team. He didn't play for the football team. He played for them. So, he ain't played for the football team, and leave all of that with the Redskins in the past because they're the football team now. The Vikings, he's had 4 straight different OCs, and then he had 1 year of success. Last year was a year of COVID, which he actually had a successful year, but the defense just didn't back it up. Rookies, injuries, yada yada yada. He did his thing.
I could hand the ball off to Dalvin Cook too.
Yeah.
Not that hard.
And throw it to, if Justin Jefferson's breaking rookie records, somebody throwing him the ball.
Justin, yeah,
He's a monster. It's just not going to be any of that greedy dance in the first week of the season. The first actual week of the season.
Cousins does throw for 4,000 yards every year.
Oh, he's
he's a
consistent.
few high on the interceptions, but he's had, like you said, a bunch of different offensive coordinators. He's been in tough positions, being in Washington and Minnesota.
He gets real shaky.
But
Definitely gets that revamped Cincinnati Bengals team, man. I'm not going to speak too much on it. We're going to say that for another
We're gonna lock
episode.
y'all's rookie up too.
It's gonna be great, man. I'm telling you, we'll be there. We'll be sitting right there side by side. We see what happens.
That's debatable live from the Houday Stadium.
Hey man, straight from the jungle, 513 where they roam at all day. That's what it's about. I say not this year, probably about 2022, 23 Super Bowl champions for sure. And that's
the
not
Browns will
really
win the
debatable.
Super Bowl before y'all do.
Child, please.
The Browns will win the Super Bowl before y'all do. Man, next week we're gonna get into the AFC, man.
There you go.
AFC
There you
North,
go.
NFC North, man. We're gonna get into it. All right, we back. That's debatable. Jeremiah Bays.
Will Ward.
And producing the show, Ryan Dietrich. We're out of here tonight on a Monday. We will see you folks next Monday night at 5 p.m.
If I'm off.
We'll be here ready to roll. There'll be somebody on air.
Yeah, we'll be back.
And that's debatable.
Yes, sir.